Hi guys, this is BAWLER, and this is important news for you. Please subscribe to my channel, it's very important to me. In the northeastern borderlands of Ukraine's Sumy Oblast lies the small village of Andriivka. At first glance, it might seem like a place of little significance, a tiny settlement offering almost no strategic advantage for Russian President Vladimir Putin. And yet, ever since the launch of his summer offensive in the Sumy region, Putin has made Andriivka a target. In early June, Russian troops briefly managed to capture the village. But on June 14th, Ukrainian forces launched a well-executed counteroffensive and reclaimed it, marking a substantial triumph. The full liberation of Andriivka not only humiliated Putin, but also disrupted Russian operations in both Sumy and Donetsk. Now let's recap how events unfolded. On June 4th, both Pravda UA and the Deep State Telegram channel confirmed that Russian forces had taken control of Andriivka and Vorozhba and were attempting to move toward Delivka and Yablunivka. By that date, they controlled several small villages along the border as part of an effort to create a buffer zone inside Sumy Oblast, but Ukrainian troops swiftly regrouped and counterattacked. Just 10 days later, led by the 225th Separate Assault Regiment, Ukraine successfully liberated Andriivka. This halted Russia's advance and restored Ukrainian control in the area. The swift and coordinated operation showed Ukraine's capability to counter Russian strategies on home ground, effectively nullifying Moscow's plan for a buffer in northern Sumy. A June 14th Reuters report covers the details. According to Reuters, President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed Andriivka's liberation as part of a broader effort to expel Russian forces from Sumy. Zelensky's official daily statement highlighted reports from Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky on frontline activity, especially in the Pokrovsk and border regions of Sumy. He emphasized Ukraine's ongoing success in pushing back Russian troops in these sectors. Zelensky praised the 225th Separate Assault Regiment for its role in liberating Andriivka. This regiment, originally formed as a battalion on March 8, 2022, just weeks after the invasion, was based in Kharkiv Oblast and designated A7400. Initially, under Ukraine's 127th Territorial Defense Brigade, it operated as a battalion until it transitioned to Ukraine's ground forces in July 2023. In February 2025, it was officially expanded into a full regiment. Roughly 4 months after its elevation, the regiment proved its worth by pushing Russian forces out of Andriivka. The 225th already has an impressive combat record. It played a critical role in the Kharkiv counteroffensive and saw heavy action in Bakhmut. While it couldn't prevent the fall of Bakhmut or Avdiivka, these were not seen as failures, especially considering the regiment's continued growth. In May 2024, it was among the first units to capture a Russian T-90 tank. It then played a key role in Ukraine's counteroffensive in Russia's Kursk Oblast, breaking through several Russian border defenses and creating paths for Ukrainian advances. The regiment has continued to engage Russian forces in Kursk, capturing both land and prisoners. Its effectiveness has even been acknowledged by Russian state media, which labeled it one of Ukraine's elite regiments. Russia also reported that the unit was equipped with some of the best Western-supplied technology. After Russia pushed Ukraine out of Kursk in early 2025, the regiment redeployed to Sumy, hence its presence in Andriivka. Zelensky and his generals wisely redirected the unit's capabilities toward reclaiming territory Putin had tried to hold for weeks. As a result, Ukraine's recapture of Andriivka stalled the Russian advance in Sumy. According to Reuters, Zelensky confirmed that the enemy had been halted near the border, with the deepest combat taking place around 7 kilometers inside Ukrainian territory. Although Reuters could not independently verify these claims, it confirmed increased Russian aggression in Sumy. Putin's strategic goal appears to be the creation of a buffer zone, not only between Sumy and Russia, but also between Sumy and Kharkiv. This would help him potentially isolate Kharkiv in future offensives. Zelensky has stated that Russia deployed around 50,000 troops near Sumy, preparing for a significant assault. In tandem, Ukraine also achieved success in Pokrovsk, a city just 12.4 miles from Donetsk's administrative border. With a pre-war population of 60,000, the city is strategically crucial. Capturing it would help Russia close in on Donetsk's border, so Putin has relentlessly attacked it for months. Pokrovsk serves as a logistical hub, housing essential supply routes that keep Ukrainian forces in Donetsk region operational. Its proximity to Dnipro, just a 2.5-hour drive, means losing it would allow Russia to push deeper into central Ukraine and closer to Kyiv. Zelensky acknowledged Ukraine's success near Pokrovsk, praising the 425th Separate Assault Regiment, the 1st Separate Assault Regiment, and the 82nd Separate Air Assault Brigade for their effective operations. The Kyiv Post reported that Zelensky reiterated his focus on the Pokrovsk and Sumy fronts, thanking all military units for their progress. Putin now faces setbacks in both Andriivka and Pokrovsk, a significant blow to his summer offensive. Sumy has always been one of Putin's strategic goals. The invasion began there on day one, with Ukrainian paratroopers and territorial defenders putting up fierce resistance. Although they were eventually ordered to withdraw, volunteers continued to hold the line and forced Russia to bypass the city in favor of Kyiv, a miscalculation that ended in failure. Ukraine has held Sumy since April 2022, and that initial defense became a symbol of resilience, helping convince the West to offer stronger support. In 2024, with Russia distracted elsewhere, Ukraine was able to launch a successful incursion into the Kursk region, reportedly costing Russia over 62,000 soldiers. Now Putin is determined not to repeat that mistake. Following Ukraine's withdrawal from Kursk, he began a new push into Sumy, intending to create multiple buffer zones between Sumy, Kharkiv, and Russia's border. Euronews reported that Russia had redeployed elite units like the 200th Motorized Rifle Brigade and the 752nd Regiment to Sumy. The new voice of Ukraine confirmed that Putin stripped troops from Donetsk and elsewhere to reinforce Sumy. Ironically, that redeployment allowed Ukraine to achieve victories in Pokrovsk and Andriivka. The more forces Putin shifts to Sumy, the more vulnerable other fronts become, a fact Ukraine is capitalizing on. Zelensky himself confirmed this in remarks quoted by Reuters. While Russia claims advances into Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine is holding its 621-mile front line. He noted that Russian troops sent into these areas are often small assault teams taking photos at the border before being pushed back, mere propaganda tools. By contrast, Ukraine's tangible success in reclaiming Andriivka shows its capacity to challenge Russia's new tactics. The war may settle into a tit-for-tat pattern where each side trades small villages. But if Ukraine keeps frustrating Russia's bigger goals, such as taking Sumy, Putin's strategy could stall. Importantly, those 50,000 troops didn't come from thin air. With so many lost in Kursk, the only option for Putin was to pull them from Donetsk and the broader Donbas region. It's a zero-sum game. Gain ground in Sumy, lose it elsewhere. Zelensky hopes this trend continues, enabling Ukraine to hold its positions even while Putin attempts to widen the battlefield. He also sees a larger solution, ramping up Western sanctions. In his address, he emphasized the need for stronger air defenses and tougher economic pressure on Russia. He cited a $45 oil price cap as effective, but argued that a $30 cap would truly change Moscow's calculations. Until such measures are in place, Ukraine must keep stacking victories like Andriivka's, battlefield wins backed by political and economic strategies. For now, Ukraine has stopped Putin's advance in Sumy. If this pattern of reclaiming lost villages continues, the offensive could devolve into a stalemate that yields little for Russia. Meanwhile, as Putin faces internal turmoil, Ukraine's bold moves like Operation Spiderweb continue to pressure him. To learn more about how Ukraine is impacting Russia's air power and reshaping the battlefield, subscribe to the Military Show for the latest updates. And thank you, as always, for watching.